Hey Vinyl community, how's it going? It's Chad, Vinyl New Wave. You may be asking yourself, isn't Chad supposed to be driving his airport shuttle? Yes, I am. You know, you spend $3,500 in body work and other mechanical repairs. Get ready for the season, and on day 3 of the season, things are going well, you're making lots of money, and your engine decides, I'm not going to maintain oil pressure anymore. The diagnosis, new engine. Yeah. So, it's been kind of a crappy day or two. I've got my cousin, who is sales manager for one of the local Chevy dealers, scouring the city for a replacement for me. It won't be a brand new one like I was hoping to buy next year. It's going to have to be a used one. Hopefully I can find a good one in good condition that'll meet my needs and also meet my financial needs, because financially this isn't the best time either. But since I'm out of commission, wife is at work, it's New Year's Eve, and kids are still in bed and it's 3 in the afternoon, I thought, what the hey, let's make it a video. And so I chose to do one about jazz. New wave jazz. What you are hearing in the background is courtesy of the Pet Shop Boys. This is a CD single for Yesterday When I Was Mad, which is off of the, damn it, Very album. Yeah. 94. Very. Yeah. And one of the B-sides tracks of this single is called Can You Forgive Her? The big band version. Or no, sorry. The swing version. It's a really awesome version. I love it. I love when artists take their stuff and do something totally different with it. This particular track is only available in just a couple spots. This CD single is one of them. And there is also an Italian pressing of a 12-inch single that has it, that I don't have. But yeah, I listen to this when I'm in a mood. I'll listen to this. So I want to talk a little bit more about jazz, its influence on new wave, and new wave's influence on jazz. And I know some of you are probably going to be like rolling your eyes, but I've got some really great records here that I want to show you. I know there's a lot more instances of influence there of jazz, but I've just picked a few that I wanted to show first off. The first off was obviously this Pet Shop Boys one. But you know what? How can you forget U2 doing When Love Comes to Town with B.B. King? What an amazing, amazing song and duet. I love this. It's off the Rattle and Hum album. I don't have this one on vinyl yet. Every time I see it, it's either beat up or in somebody's hands on their way to the cash register. So, but yeah, B.B. King and Love Comes to Town. U2 had for this this Rattle and Hum album and kind of their subsequent works, they really were influenced by that folk, jazz, and blues music of the United States. So, great album there. And also another great new wave artist, alternative rock artist, that after her first 2 albums decided I'm going to do something jazzy. Sinead O'Connor's Am I Not Your Girl? When this came out in '92, I was in France and I picked it up and I first heard it and I was like, this is a little bizarre because it's all, you know, big band stuff. Why don't you do right? Bewitched, Bothered, and Bewildered. Success is Million. I mean, just there's all kinds of just really great jazz and big band tunes on this album. I also don't have this one on vinyl. I've looked for it, but any of the US pressings are going for like $80. I mean, they're just kind of insane. And you can get a European pressing for, around $15 or $20, but you have to pay the shipping, which brings it up to $40, so I just haven't sprung for it yet. But great album by Sinead O'Connor, and it is by no means rock. It's big band jazz and chanson. All right, so moving on to New Wave's influence on jazz. And before I do that, I'm going to pause this music here. Because it's getting old. All right. So, New Wave influence on jazz. A number of years ago, a friend of mine who's a DJ on the local radio station here, mentioned to me offhanded one day, hey, there's this jazz quartet that does covers of new wave music. You should come. And they were traveling through town. They were playing in town. He's like, you should come and see them. They're playing at this little club downtown. And I kind of brushed him off like, nah, it sounds kind of weird. So I didn't want to do it. But so I didn't go. And I'm really upset that I didn't, because I finally picked up their albums, that debut album of theirs. And man, it blew me away. The group is called Nouvelle Vague. They're a French jazz, I don't want to say quartet. They're a French jazz group of musicians, and then they have all these female guest vocalists that come on and sing on the different songs. And they do these really amazing jazz renditions of new wave songs. So this is their debut album, Nouvelle Vague, and the opener is a cover of Love Will Tear Us Apart by Joy Division. It's so beautiful and so haunting. They do a cover of Just Can't Get Enough from Depeche Mode, which, if you've heard, there's a bank that's using kind of a cover of Just Can't Get Enough in their commercials, and it's very similar to this version, but it's not the same. In a Manner of Speaking, which was a Martin Gore tune, Guns of Brixton by the Clash. This Is Not a Love Song by Public Image Limited. Too Drunk to Fuck by the Dead Kennedys. Yeah. Marion, I can't remember who that one is. Making Plans for Nigel by XTC. A Forest from The Cure. I Melt With You from Modern English. Teenage Kicks. Psych. And Friday Night, Saturday Morning. Just, really, I mean, every song on here is from a new wave hit, and they're all done with jazz instruments and percussion and stuff, and it just sounds amazing. I've only had these on actually digital for the longest time, and I finally, a couple months ago, picked them up. So this one is on a clear, swirly vinyl. Very, very cool. They did not stop there. They came out with a second album called Nouvelle Vague, a band à part. And this one continues in that same tradition, that same bossa nova jazz sound. They do The Killing Moon by Echo and the Bunnymen, Ever Fall in Love by the Buzzcocks, Don't Go by Yaz, Dancing with Myself from Billy Idol, Heart of Glass from Blondie, Blue Monday from New Order, The Human Fly from The Cramps, and an amazingly haunting rendition of Bela Lugosi's Dead by Bauhaus. Fade to Gray from from Visage, not Ultravox. Let Me Go from Heaven 17. This album, it's just amazing. I'm going to try and do a couple needle drops here. I'm sure that it'll get chopped, but some really cool jazz versions of new wave songs. And that second album is on this really cool pink vinyl. And on my copy, the labels are wrong. Side one label is on side two, which kind of sucks. Then, they weren't done. Nouvelle Vague, 3. And on this album, this is the third album. And on this one, they actually ended up getting artists from the original band to collaborate with them. So I'm trying to see if I've got the. It's not on here, but so Martin Gore from Depeche Mode actually does some guest vocals on Master and Servant. Maybe I'm wrong. I can't remember. I'm pretty sure it was this album. Blister in the Sun from Violent Femmes. Road to Nowhere from Talking Heads. Say Hello, Wave Goodbye from Soft Cell. God Save the Queen from Sex Pistols. Our Lips Are Sealed from the Go-Go's. Ça plane pour moi, which is perfect for a French jazz band. Anyways, so that is the third album. And that one is on this really cool white vinyl. And they did a fourth album. This one is a little bit different. It's a little less jazzy. I'm not sure why, but it's more of a maybe a folk guitar, or it's got acoustic guitar and stuff on it. But it is titled "I Could Be Happy," and that is a song by Altered Images. And they also do a song by Cocteau Twins, Etel Rose. I Want to Be Sedated by the Ramones. I Could Be Happy. Maladroit. There's some Brian Eno on here. Some covers of Brian Eno. A Cure song. And yeah, so this one is not as good as the other ones in my opinion, but it's still actually quite good. So it is Nouvelle Vague, I Could Be Happy. Now this one was supposed to be, I ordered the colored vinyl copy, which is kind of an orange and yellow splatter, but the Amazon seller who sold it to me had it listed incorrectly. It's actually the black vinyl version, but it's okay. And finally, Nouvelle Vague had one more album they put out. This one was this year. It is called Curiosities. And this one is actually kind of a compilation of demos and tracks that they left off the other 4 albums. So there's a cover of Sweet Dreams by the Eurythmics on here, Brass and Pocket from the Pretenders, I'm in Love with a German Film Star, which is an amazing, amazing song, Don't You Want Me from Human League, Mirror in the Bathroom, Nowhere Girl by B-Movie. So a lot of really great covers. This one, like I said, because it's some demos and things like that, they don't have female singers. There's actually some male singers on a couple of these. This is just they were kind of fleshing out the song before they brought in the female guest singers. If you guys, they tour all over Europe all the time, and if you get a chance, man, go see them. They're just an amazing jazz band, and they, an amazing, group of musicians. And I follow them on their Facebook page, and they've kind of hinted that there might be another North American tour coming up here in the next year or so. So hopefully they do come back over to the United States and tour, and hopefully they're somewhere close to home here so that I can go see them, because man, I just love those guys. I know you guys think I'm like this crazy new wave guy that's only listens to new wave, and for the most part you would be right, but I do like to listen to some jazz every once in a while and some other rock, and a little bit of everything. But when I get the opportunity to blend those two, blend new wave and other things, I love it. It just is great. So that is my video for today. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you liked the idea of new wave jazz, thumbs up. If you liked Sinead O'Connor, or U2's Rattle and Hum with B.B. King, or the Pet Shop Boys, or any of these other new wave, jazz new wave records, please thumbs up. If you haven't already, please subscribe. Thank you to all my subscribers. I think I'm closing in on 200 at this point. It jumped pretty quickly. And until next time, remember, you spin me around like a record, baby. I gotta go buy a Suburban.